Gaffer, what's your reflection on tonight's match?
Encouraged by the first half, but disappointed by the second half, and we have to accept it. You know, when you're searching like we are, you're looking for a spark, and we didn't quite find it in the first half. I thought we controlled possession. The only thing missing was our, I suppose, entries into the final third. We got into the final third, but we didn't look sharp, or we didn't look clinical. We didn't look as though we were supporting the front line. But from a possession point of view and controlling the opponent, I thought we did okay. But they'll say the same. We were disappointed with the second half performance, and the game gets away from you even more when Jay gets sent off as well. So it's a difficult one to take. Players are responsible for winning games. I'm responsible when we lose games, and I've got to find the right answers with this group of players. No excuses, none whatsoever. Just accountability. I can't step over that white line, but the players know themselves what they need to do better. The players know themselves how we set them up, and we're disappointed in the manner in which we conceded the goal. It was a carbon copy of the type of trap that they set, and we should have avoided it. So while we are finding it difficult in the offensive third, we have to make sure that we keep clean sheets, and we should have probably kept a clean sheet tonight.
There's a lot of strong characters in that dressing room, and they'll respond from this, won't they?
That's what we want, that's what we expect, that's what we demand. But the one thing I'll refuse to do is beat the players in. I've got to support the players now. We've not had a difficult spell since I've been at the club. We've had great successes. This is a difficult spell, and the reward is when you come out of the difficult spell by sticking together and finding a solution, because there is a solution in the changing rooms, there's no question about that, and we will find it. It hurts. You've got to put everything into context, but we're deeply disappointed, but we have to find a solution. The players have to accept responsibility for what it is we want to achieve as a group. We can lead them, we can prepare them, which we have been doing. The staff have been magnificent, but I can't actually play the game anymore.
The key thing now is that we've got a game again on Saturday, so it's all about preparation for that now, isn't it?
It is. You know, you have to digest, you have to go through the game again, you have to look at what we did well, what we didn't do so well. Like I said, we're disappointed with the second half. We were expecting more after what was an encouraging first half. We explained to the players what we needed to do better, and we didn't quite get it. It's difficult understanding that, because I believe we've got energy, I believe we've got good players. Probably the situation we find ourselves in, confidence, self-belief, you know, maybe we sat back a little bit too much, unconsciously. You know, I'm not too sure whether we certainly didn't ask the players to, but we probably found ourselves a little bit too deep. But the players are suffering. They're suffering because of the result. We've got to refine and reconnect, you know, with that important ingredient, which is, you know, self-belief, confidence.
And that group can do that. They've shown that this season.
Exactly. You know, and there's nothing complicated about what we're trying to do. Everybody's trying to do it. This is, like I said, it's a difficult period, and we have to collectively come through it together.
It's important to recognise that we are still in that touching distance, that top three. We're firmly in the playoff positions, and there's a lot of football yet to be played.
I think we've got to ignore that. We've got to ignore the league table. We've got to get back to... For me, it's all about self-confidence, belief in each other. I think there's too many questions being asked, which the players and myself, you know, people will suggest, well, you're the manager, you should know the answers. Well, yes, we have got a plan. You know, the players, they know what they're doing. Sometimes it just goes missing. You've got to refine it, and you've got to search within. We can't keep having massive discussions, because I think that makes you freeze. You end up with too many mind bombs, negative mind bombs, instead of positive mind bombs. So my job's to plant as many positive mind bombs as I possibly can. But this is a difficult period that we're going through. There's no question about that, and results are reflecting that. And we just need a magic formula to get back to winning ways.
Jay Spearing came back into the team after missing last weekend, and unfortunately his night came to a premature end. Frustrating night for Jay in that respect.
Frustrating. I think we missed it for one game. So it is frustrating for Jay, it's frustrating for us. We're down to 10 men. It's difficult, but difficult situations make you stronger, make you more prepared for, and probably more humble when you get your successes.
On a positive note, James Vaughan returned to the team this evening. He came on for 20 minutes and he looked lively when he came on.
Yeah, I'm speaking on behalf of James Vaughan as well here with respect to, we wanted him in the squad, we wanted his presence. In an ideal world we would have been winning the game and we wouldn't have had to use him. I'm being guided by James Vaughan. I asked him when obviously he could go on, and we got 20 minutes out of him, and listen, we cannot put all our eggs into James Vaughan's basket. It's not fair on James Vaughan. We have to protect him while taking a certain amount of calculated risk in the minutes that he gets, but he hasn't been on the training pitch. He wanted to be included, we wanted his presence, we want his presence on the pitch, but we want him to be able to perform to the standard that James Vaughan can, and so we've got to be very careful. We can't just be, well, we'll be okay now we've got James Vaughan back. He's a key player for us, but he needs minutes on the grass.
And finally, we'll analyse tonight's game, dust ourselves down, and then on Thursday back at the campus and ready for Saturday.
Yes, definitely. Tough times call for tough people, and we've got them characters. It's just that little bit of self-belief. That's, if I'm looking through it, the structure, fine. The commitment from the players, fine. Is it being misplaced at the minute? Yes. Are we not creating enough? Yes, that's obvious, and I think the opponents know that. So we've got to make sure that we get that cleaner, more precise, and we start putting the ball in the back of the net, because it does put a lot of pressure on your back four. And the mistake that we made for the goal, and it is a mistake. You might not see it as a mistake, but it's a big mistake when you consider the way that we prepare the players not to fall into that trap. I know it was a great finish, but we should never have been in that situation in the first place.